I had the beautiful opportunity to go to the Holy Lands this January, starting off the year 2023. In the most perfect way I could imagine. So one of my absolute favorite places was the primacy of Peter. It is on the Sea of Galilee, and we went there towards the beginning of our trip, and the sun was setting on the Sea of Galilee. The water was still and peaceful. And the primacy of Peter is claimed to be the spot where, right after the resurrection, Peter didn't know what to do. He was at a loss, so he kind of tells everyone, I'm going to go fishing. And he hasn't gone fishing since he became a follower of Jesus. But all of a sudden, Jesus is gone, the passion has happened. He didn't know what to do, so he goes fishing again, which I feel like in my own life kind of shows, you get lost, you just go back to your old ways. You know what I mean? You just pick up and you're just like, well, all I know, I don't know what to do anymore. So he goes back and he's fishing on the water, and when the resurrected Jesus, comes to Peter, and Peter's been fishing all night and doesn't catch one thing, and then a man calls out from the water and says, cast your net over on the left side, and Peter casts and it comes back full of fish, and Peter just immediately knew, and he jumped in the water and he swam to Jesus. And I think there's such beauty in that, and everything with the story of Peter. He didn't know what to do. He went off and he started fishing again and got lost. But every time that Jesus calls him, he swims back. Every time that Jesus reaches out to him, he comes back immediately. And I just really prayed with that and was able to just feel Peter and kind of his relationship with Jesus. And then when he swims back, Jesus is asking, do you love me? And Peter's like, yes, of course, Lord, I love you. And Jesus asks Peter that 3 separate times, kind of like the 3 times earlier when Peter had denied Jesus 3 times. So it's kind of like this full circle moment, and it's the beautiful tale of how, we sometimes fall. And Peter, the father of the church, sometimes falls, but he still runs back into Jesus' arms, and he still loves Jesus. Yes, Lord, of course I love you. And being able to see this scene of the sun setting, the most peaceful sea, and you could feel the forgiveness and the hope that was in the Sea of Galilee. And I feel like in the water, you could just feel Jesus and the hope that is there. And it was just such a surreal, beautiful experience to be able to see when I fall back, but know that every time I hear Jesus calling me, I can swim right up to him and say, Lord, I'm sorry. And so that day really spoke to me, being on the water and just being able to take in the moment.